So today I dug out my Barkbuster handguards that I removed from my Gen 2 before it got hauled off to the junkyard. I'm going to try to install these today on the Gen 3 here. Handguards that these come with are completely useless as far as protection goes. They're, I guess, good for wind protection, but they're not any good at protecting your hands or your brake or clutch levers. These, on the other hand, wrap all the way around from your bar end. They're going to protect when you drop the bike. They're going to protect your hand if you smash into a tree, which for me is very important. And if you guys are going to ride this bike off-road, it's probably going to get dropped. So I would definitely suggest getting something like this. So the first thing I'm gonna have to do is get these removed. Looks like they're bolted on at the top here, and then I think there's another bolt down at the bottom there. Looks like the bar end is a number 6 Allen. Oh, and it's in there too. Whoops. That is quite the hefty weight. The bar ends on the Barkbusters that I had, I don't think weigh anywhere near this much. As you can see, this is actually just a threaded end inside of the bar. The bars that were on my Gen 2 were an aftermarket Pro Taper ATV mid bar, I think. So they just had this expansion type end on it, which obviously is not going to work for what I've got here today. I might just be able to use that same bolt and throw it to the end here. We'll just have to see. I'm not sure what it is. I can stick a screwdriver all the way in there, but the threads that are in here must just end at a certain point. I don't really feel like trying to tap them out or anything. So what I'm gonna do just for now actually is use the bolt that came out of the stock bar end, and then that will just go through the end of the Barkbuster itself. Not gonna be ideal. As you can see, we've got kind of a square-ended fastener head going into the bar end with a shape that should made up with a bolt head that looks like that. There's the bolt up top. That looks like it's a 10mm. I'll put the wrench on that. And then we've got an open end on the underside. And you don't want this part on the bottom to move because that's actually securing your brake lever. Looks like that top comes off pretty easy though. Yeah, those are really loose. And then that'll just pop off there. Kind of slide it off the bolt on the bottom. There we are. Looks better already. Now it looks like there's going to be a lot of threads hanging off the bottom of that bolt, so I think I'm just going to throw my nut back on there. Better to have an extra nut than not enough. And with these, you got to make sure you keep track of which bolt is which. The side that actually clamps this piece is the shorter bolt, and the longer bolt goes on the opposite side here. So this is ready to go on. We'll just slip that kind of around the brake lever, trying to figure out where exactly it's going to end up. We might have to do some bending to make this all line up how we want it to. So now, what we've got to decide here is whether or not we want to try to stick that portion above the brake line or below it. And from here, it looks like on top doesn't quite look right. How's that look? Seems like it should work out all right from here anyway. So it looks like I'm kind of stuck putting my clamp on this side of the bar here. Over here, it's just going to end up kind of running into my master cylinder. So what I'm going to have to do is bend this guy so the bracket here sticks over that direction. So I'm going to pull this off, stick it in the vise, and see what I can get it to do. So after a little bit of trial and error, we are just about where I think we're going to need to be to get that to go in there. Obviously, I'm going to have to kind of squeeze this together a bit, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then my holes should line up. And at this point, of course, this is still loose, so I can kind of get it to go wherever it needs to be to line up with the holes here. So I borrowed that just to throw it on here to see what it looked like. And I definitely like how that looks a heck of a lot better than the stock one. Not quite as much wind protection, of course, but like I've mentioned several times, much more actual usable mechanical protection. And I think it definitely makes the bike look a bit better. Those other ones are kind of big and goofy for me. So I think I probably will go this route. They do look pretty darn nice on there. One thing that I guess I should mention that doesn't look so nice is the big gap that I've got here. You could fix that by loosening this up, breaking the little nub off of the inside of this that positions it both this way and this way. Then you could slide this out. You'd also probably want to then slide your brake and master cylinder out a ways, since that would kind of maybe cause some interference in here. I'm Probably not gonna do anything with it tonight. Maybe eventually I'll adjust it, but I guess we'll see how much it bothers me. I think I've got this adjusted about where I want it. However, I don't have everything tightened down yet. But what I usually try to do is have this kind of wrapped right around my levers. So if the bike does go over, or I should say when the bike goes over, they'll be protected, not sticking above or below it at all. The other thing that I like to try to do is make sure that I'm getting optimal coverage for my hands. So not only am I covering the top part of my hand here, but also my fingers too. If you guys didn't already notice this, I've actually got this bolt flipped. So I'll be able to get my wrench down in from the bottom here on this side. Obviously with the crossbar in the way there's not really a good way to get a tool in there. If I was to have that bolt flip the other way, the front side one I just left like you normally would. So that'll be accessed from the top. I don't know what it is about these, but I really kind of like these on here. I actually like them better on the KLR than I did on the Tenere. I don't know if they just kind of match the side panels a little bit better or what the deal is, but they look pretty good on there. Again, kind of same thing on this side. Could move the grip over, I think, if I wanted to. I don't know if these are glued on or not, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave it for now and see if I can just try and ignore it. This fit over here, just as good as it did on the other side. No issues running into anything. Again, kind of try to keep these away from your cables at least a little bit, so you got a little bit of slop in there. One thing to note specifically on this side is that your locking nut on your clutch adjustment here is actually going to be backed up tight against your old handguards. So when you take that handguard off, first of all, be careful of this, but also once it's removed, you're going to have to tighten this back down. Otherwise, this can kind of spin freely, and doesn't hurt at that point to check to make sure that you've got a nickel size gap between the end of the lever here and the beginning of the perch, which is a little bit hard to show here. There we go. Pull it, drop it back, and then give it a push. There's a bit of a gap in there. You want that, otherwise your clutch is going to be slightly pulled all the time. Before you tighten any of this stuff down, you want to turn your bars all the way to the full lock position one direction and make sure you don't have any sort of interference, which, as you can see, it's a little close here, but there's no interference, so we're good there. You didn't really do anything with your cables, hopefully, but just in case, doesn't hurt to check those to make sure that they're not getting pinched or stretched. Check the tank side to make sure nothing's gonna hit there. Doesn't look like that should be an issue with these anyway. Turn it back all the way the other way. Again, pretty close there, but no issues. And it looks like if we had some sort of taller windscreen on here, that wouldn't be a problem either. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. I know some of the stuff I did was kind of weird and maybe not what exactly you're gonna be seeing when you go to do this on your bike. If you guys do run into anything though when you go to put some sort of Barkbuster kit on your bike, let me know down in the comment box below and let the other guys know that are watching this video if you ran into any issues, if you saw some of the same stuff that I did, or if there's anything else you want to let everybody know down there. So thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, hopefully it was helpful to you. If it was, make sure and give it a like. If you want to see videos of the KLR 650 in action or more videos like this, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell after you're subscribed. It'll let you know whenever I put a video out, which is at least once a week. If you want to see some more videos right now, check them out over here. Otherwise, guys, take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, and enjoy this beautiful world for yourself. It's a good looking bike, isn't it?